Just a onesie kind of day today, you know. Anyway, today I'm going to be reviewing Struck by Lightning, the Carson Phillips Journal by Colfer. Now this book has already been made into a film which you can rent off the US iTunes if you're from America. And I did watch the film before I read the book, but I have to say that this book is more of like the companion of the film rather than a standalone book, or like the two things have been adapted from each other, because as you can see, like there's like pictures from the film in the book and stuff like that. Struck by Lightning is the story of Carson Phillips, who is in his senior year of high school and is basically right at the bottom of the food chain and is surrounded by people he hates. When he graduates high school, he wants to become a journalist and go to Northwestern University. But in order to do this, he needs to create a literary magazine as part of his application, although for that he needs to get other people to submit writings for this magazine. So he blackmails the whole of the student council and a few others to get people to submit writings for the magazine. I have to say that I do love Colfer as a person. Like, I watch Glee and I do enjoy it to a certain extent, but I am going to make this review as unbiased as possible. I have to say that some of the phrases in this book seemed a bit cliche, and I have read extracts of Colfer's other book called The Land of Stories, which is actually really good. So I think he's better at writing for children than he is for teens, even though I understand that this book is in the first person and it's like a journal and stuff, but I just think he's better at writing for children, to be honest. Now in the film, I love the character of Mallory, played by Rebel Wilson, because I love the actress herself. But in the book, she comes across a lot more simple than she does in the film. But I did quite like the character of Carson himself, because he's a very blunt character, although he is slightly empathetic at the same time. And I find like the blunt quality of his personality really funny, because he comes out with like really humorous things at times. And like I said, he is slightly empathetic, but it kind of links back to how I said some of the phrases are a bit cliche and corny, because like when he is being empathetic in this book, it's written like he is being in a kind of like a cliche, corny, cheesy way, which is kind of cringeful, I suppose. One thing I do like about this book though is it's exploring the idea of asexuality. One thing I do like about this book though is how it explores the idea of asexuality, which is different compared to other books of like the young adult genre, because most young adult books it's like, oh, the guy or the girl loves somebody of the opposite sex and they really want to go for that person and they fancy them a lot. Whereas in this book it's more of he doesn't really matter, he doesn't really care like which gender he likes the most. Anyway, despite all the things I said, I would give Struck by Lightning 4 stars out of 5, because as it gets towards the end, like the emotion like really cranks up in it and you get a lot of feelings and stuff like that, and you do kind of feel like sorry for Carson because of what happens to him at the end, which you can probably tell happens by the title. Now I'm slightly behind on my 20 books challenge for this year at the moment, so I'm now currently reading these 3 books, which are The 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom, The Horologicon by Mark Forsyth, and The Writer's Tale by Russell T Davies and Benjamin Cook. So I hope you enjoyed that review, and if you've read the book yourself, comment below, tell me what you thought of it and stuff, and I'll see you next time, guys.